2 kitties. 1. Dandy. Dandles. Hello. So good, so floofy. Hello. Dandy, that's a terrible place to lay, but whatever. All right, we can go ahead and get started. I'm gonna kneel and see how quickly I can make myself do some actual flow from kneeling. Okay, so you can start kneeling too. Grab a block if you need something to kneel onto. Try to get the tops of your feet lined up so that the insteps of your feet are touching and you're not collapsing through your outer ankles in order to sit on your heels. And if that's a lot, that's where the block comes in. I like to have my knees together. Again, that helps with the midline activation, way down here. And I'm wearing conveniently black on black, so the contrast is really great for you to be able to see all those details. But anyways, you can imagine. And you can put your hands wherever feels good. And we'll go ahead and start by focusing on breathing for a few rounds of breath. So you can focus your eyes softly out in front of you, or you can close your eyes, whichever you prefer. Slow your breathing down on purpose. And you can endeavor for at least 4 seconds on your inhale and 4 seconds on your exhale. That's pretty safe for most people. If you find that that does create like too much pressure in your face and eyes on your inhale, maybe you're breathing into the wrong place. If you find that you are, or you might have a blood pressure thing if it's not diagnosed already, if you don't already know about it, something maybe to check into. If you find it hard to sustain your exhale for 4 seconds, there's a good chance that you're overworking your chest muscles and pushing air out too quickly instead of using your abdominals and the muscles deeper around your diaphragm to slowly release the air, and so you get gassed. So just slowly build your awareness of what muscles are required to breathe in 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, or even longer than that. Give it like 5 more breaths. On your next breath in, reach both of your arms out and up overhead. Get tall from the base of your lat up through your fingers. Stretch maybe even longer from your hips up through your fingers. Take a breath in. Exhale your left hand to the ground or to a block. The ground can be a block. Tip over with your right arm. Now, a lot of people go all bendy like this because in like dance and some expressive movement, this is how people do, right? But here we're going for integration. So it's better that you get long and don't go as far over to the side with your arm than it is to bend at your arm, because the biggest stretch that you need, the place that you need to be rounding, is actually down in your torso. So contract through your left side and get as round through your right side as possible, and then that arm can go long and help to pull extra length through your side. You can let your left ear go down. Take one more big breath into your right side. At the top of it, lift up and exhale. Plant your right hand down and go long to the right with your left hand. A little bit of pressure down through your right hand can help to contract your right side to get that nice elongation through your left side, which of course you're also using the activation of your arm to accentuate. Use your inhale to stretch and reach up to the top. Exhale, let's go, hands to the ground, slide forward, tuck your toes underneath you, and rock back, and then lift your knees up off of the ground and open your knees wide. So knees outside, diamond shape, and as you can see, I'm balancing. So you're welcome to balance. You're welcome to have your hands on the ground. I'm now going to move into that because I get a little bit of a better back stretch this way. Let's look at the stretch of my feet, which I want. You can let your head go, or you can gaze out in front of you. We'll be here for another breath or two. Feel free to move around in your feet and notice how that changes the stretch. Good. Keep your head low. Lift your hips up, forward fold. I was facing the computer, but I'm going to turn to the front area of my mat and hang out in your forward fold with a deep bend in your knees. Let your spine round around your legs. Tuck your chin more than feels intuitive. And breathe into your upper back. Press through your feet, scoop your tailbone down, slowly roll up to stand. And when you get to the top, reach your arms out wide with your thumbs up, all right? With your thumbs up, you're gonna take a second, go back with the back of your hands until you feel you're sort of at a natural limit without going into a back bend. You want to keep your spine neutral. Roll your left thumb, forearm, elbow, bicep, and shoulder down, and your right side back. Look to the right, work for that rotation. Slowly rotate through the middle and to the other side. Now your right side is internally rotated and your left is externally rotated. Back to the right with the external rotation and your gaze. Take it to the left. Let's go one more time. Each side. Good. Inhale, both of your arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Hinge from your hips, bend at your knees, forward fold. Find a half lift, which is still belly to thigh. If you just lift your chest and head a little bit. Take a breath into the length of your spine. And then plant your hands to the ground. Step back to plank pose. Drop your knees down to the ground. Walk your hands out in front of you and take your knees a little wide, maybe mat width distance or so. And with your arm out in front of your shoulders, you're gonna, wow, you really cannot see nothing because of the black shirt. All right, I got a white shirt on underneath. All is well. Okay, puppy pose. Your arms are out in front of you. Your head can be down to the ground. I like it, if I position myself in the right place on the mat, I like to grab the edge of the mat and kind of push it away as I drop my chest down, my forehead down, and work to get very long from my hip crease through the entirety of my arms. Drag yourself forward to your forearms, drop your knees to the ground, then bring your hands together, scoop your tailbone down, protract your shoulder blades so that your upper back is rounded, and just stay here and breathe slowly to turn on your core. Take one more breath in. Exhale, sit your hips back, child's pose. One breath in your child's pose. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Look between your hands, take a breath in. On your exhale, step your feet between your hands. And if you can, get your feet all the way together in the middle. Bend your knees deeply and round your body around your legs. Let your head go down to the ground, even tuck your chin to get a little more rounding through the back of your neck. Roll up to stand. When you get to the top, reach both of your arms up overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. Lead with your heart as you push your hips back. Then bend your knees and fold. Half lift, inhale. Plant your hands, step to plank. Hold and breathe, plank. Exhale, knees wide, puppy. Walk your hands long. Head down, chest down, or toward that direction at any rate. Drag yourself forward into Sphinx core. With your elbows underneath your shoulders, your hands together. You can slide your knees back in, scoop your tailbone underneath you. Lift your chest up, round your upper back, and try to isolate the sensation of your deeper core working here by breathing slowly and holding a constant tension. Good, sit back, child's pose, take a breath in. Downward facing dog, exhale. Look forward to fill up. And exhale, step yourself into forward fold, feet together, bend your knees. Inhale up to stand, reach your arms tall. Exhale your hands to your heart, hinge into forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Plant your hands, step to plank, plank, breathe in. Exhale, knees wide, puppy. Drag yourself forward. Set up Sphinx core, elbows underneath your shoulders, legs a little closer. Look straight underneath your nose and make sure that your head is picked up in line with the rest of your spine. Take one more breath in.
Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Slide your left arm underneath you to the right. Take your right hand to the back of your head. Your knees can be bent a little bit so that they're out in front of you. Your hips are nice and grounded. Take your right hand to the back of your head and then up to your hip. So side crunch. It's better to stay a little rounded. So you don't need to go all the way down here every single time. Keep a little curve and just go from a little curve to a little bit of a bigger curve and back to the original small curve, like that. So we'll go, let's say, 10 on this side. Okay, take your hands together and bring your knees a little bit more at a 90-90 out in front of you. You might also want a block between your knees so that your hips don't, the femur stays in your hip capsule nicely. I do. That's just me though, and the way my hips like to do. So you'll put your hands together out in front of you, slide your right fingers forward so that you're protracting your top shoulder blade, and then up and around. Your torso doesn't move, you only go as far as the back of your shoulder will allow, and then you'll bring it back down. Reach out, protraction, keep the protraction, and then retract at the back. And then bring it back around. Retract, protract, keep it all the way. Retract, protract, slide it back around. Wow, dandy. We're going for 8 on this side. That's about 5 for me. Does not take much for me to lose count. Last one. Okay, now let's do this. Prop yourself up on your bottom elbow, so it's a little bit more comfortable maybe for your neck and shoulder, more active anyways. Find somewhere else. And maybe you have your knees together, maybe you don't. Either way, you're gonna rotate, a block. Maybe you have your knees on a block, and maybe you have your knees together. Either way, you're going to rotate. You have the most impeccable placement. You're gonna rotate, right, without picking up your hips at all. You're gonna kick your right heel out and up and feel your femur rotate around the block or rotate around your bottom knee if you're knee to knee. And when you get up to this top position, hold it 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, feel your outer hip, and then back down. We'll go for 8 of those. Move the block, grab your foot, extend your leg or pull your leg in. If you can't quite get your foot, you can grab anywhere on your leg. Or if you can't even get a hold of the leg, you can always, the back leg, you can always press and resist with a shorter leg, and that's going to build some muscle in the hip crease, which will allow you to get the leg up higher. Hamstring flexibility does come into play, but it's secondary really to your hip crease working. Take one more big breath in and exhale. I'm gonna flip the other side so I'm still facing the computer. This time your right arm goes underneath and your knees are bending. Take your left hand to the back of your head, round up, and then crunch. So a little bit of a curve into a slightly bigger curve, 10 times. Good. Then down, maybe you grab your block, maybe you don't. It's going between your knees if you are. Take your palms together. Your knees are a little bit more in front of you for this so that your legs are sort of 90-90. Palms together, and we're going to do the back now of your left shoulder. So retract, slide forward to protract, bring it up and back. Try to feel maybe a moment of retraction. Then reach out and back around 8 times. As is often the case with back of shoulder stuff, the front of shoulder stuff gets tight, and that is true to form for me right now. I can feel where on this side, which is my junkier side, when I reach back between the pec minor and the bicep anterior delt, somewhere up in this like triad of muscle, things are just weirdly tight. I can feel the muscles in the back of my shoulder working when I'm lifting stuff, but I can't quite coordinate it with my lat on this side quite as well as I do on my dominant side. So work in progress, full transparency. Come on up onto your right elbow, knees together or knees on the block. You're gonna flare your left heel out. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, down and up for 8. Then ditch the block, grab your foot or press on your leg. Good. Release. Plank pose. Exhale, slowly lower. Cobra on your inhale. Exhale to child's pose, and then up to downward facing on your exhale. Gaze forward. Borian, you're supposed to be asleep right now. Inhale, look forward. Step yourself between your hands, forward fold. Inhale, roll up to stand. Exhale, hinge from your hips, bend at your knees, fold forward. Half lift, look forward, plant your hands, step to plank, hold, 5 breaths. Lower down slowly. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing. From downward facing, lift your right leg up and back behind you, just in line with your hip. On your exhale, you'll draw your knee to your abdomen, maybe your chest. Maybe you can round your head to your knee, but just get that belly to thigh connection. Then lift up and back. Exhale, round in. Inhale up and back. Exhale, round in. Inhale up. Exhale, step your right foot through. Drop your left knee down. Low lunge. Scoop your arms up overhead. Breathe in. Cactus your arms. Breathe out. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. And you have two options. You can either hook your elbow to the outside of your right knee, twist, or inhale to the center and up. Exhale, arms both open wide, or just right arm back, twist. But we'll go up to the middle, inhale. Your version of a twist, exhale. Inhale up. Twist, breathe out. Up, breathe in, last time. Twist, exhale. No more, it's lights out time now. It was already lights out time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale your hands to frame your right foot, step back, plank pose.
He's in bed.
Thank you. Inhale, plank. Exhale to lower. Cobra. Breathe in. Exhale to child's. Breathe in, child's pose. Down dog. Breathe out. Inhale your left leg up and back. Just in line with your hip. On your exhale, draw your knee to your chest. Knee to your belly, maybe knee to chest, maybe forehead to knee. Then up and back, inhale. Exhale, round in. Inhale up. Exhale in. Up and back, inhale, look forward, step your left foot forward, drop your right knee down. Come on, upright in your low lunge. Both arms up, breathe in. Cactus, breathe out. Inhale, both arms up. This time, twist, your version of a twist to the left. Inhale to center. Twist, breathe out. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Last time, twist. Up on your inhale. Exhale to frame your left foot. Plank pose, step back. Plank, breathe in. Exhale, lower slowly. Take your left arm out to the left, thumb forward of the line of your shoulder when you look. Then turn your gaze to the right and slowly stack your right side on top of your left side. Be conservative so that you can ensure that you are lined up in your spine and that you're not forcing anything to happen on that left side shoulder or chest. Breathe into the openness in your right side chest. We're not going to be here terribly long this time. Slowly roll to the center, look to the left, plant your left hand and extend your right arm out to the right. Switch, roll and stack your left side over your right side, hold. Be conservative with it, you're only going for a line. If you're very backbendy and you want to plant your top foot behind you, that's up to you. emphasis here is not so much on the twist as it is on the integration of your lat and the fascial network behind your lat as it travels up into your shoulder, and the stretch that's happening in the front of your body in your chest. Good. Slowly release. Back to the middle. Plant your hands underneath you. Push up and back to child's pose. Take a breath in child's pose. And a breath out. Downward facing dog. Lift up and back. Plant into your left foot. Lift your right leg up. Inhale. Exhale. Twist a little bit as you bring your knee forward to your left elbow. Rotate up and back. Again, it is better that you keep your leg close to your body and whatever rotation happens than to have your leg sagging down while you're trying to do this. Last time, third time through. Up and back. Look forward, step your right foot outside of your right hand, drop your left knee down, and corkscrew open to the right. Get a side stretch all along your right side. Get as long through your left leg as you can. Your right knee is opening away from you, both abduction and some external rotation. Okay, bring it back for a second. Sink your hips a little more forward and let your head hang. Send your hips backward. As you do so, frame your right leg. You're in your half split. You can have any ankle position that you want to. You can rock in and out of pointed toes, flexed ankle. You can be more upright with it, hinged, or you can be rounded over your right leg. We'll be here for, let's go, 3 more breaths. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, quarter turn to the left. Go wide with your right leg and walk your hands to the middle between your hips. Your back toes are untucked and you can sit your hips as far back as feels good, or you can have them more forward, but you're in a half middle split. Good. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Rotate back with your right leg forward, left leg back. This time, you're going to twist a little bit to the right, but instead of corkscrewing open, where you're going to the outside of your left leg and your right knee is opening wide, you'll make a little space with your right knee opening, but you'll stay on the front side of your left leg. Ideally, in theory, what then happens is you can sink your hips more forward, bend your back knee, and catch a hold of your foot with your hand. All right, if that is not happening, you can work the bend as long as you're not on your kneecap. Or if that's not happening because you're tight, you can stay everything, leg included, straight forward, and you're dropping down a level, or just sinking your hips more forward to open up that line in the front of your left hip. So we'll be here for 5 breaths in case you are going into the shoulder variation, quad variation.
Slowly release. Bring it back to plank pose. Hold your plank pose, 3 breaths. Look forward, slowly lower. Cobra, inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, child's pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up on your inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Twist with it to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, leg in tight. Twist right. Up, inhale. Last time for the core. Inhale up. Exhale, step wide with your left foot. Drop your right knee down. Corkscrew open to the left this time. Bring it back forward. Frame your leg. Send your hips back toward your half split. Look forward on your breath in, and you're going to take a quarter turn to the right. Get long through your left leg. Sit down, middle split, with your left leg extended and your right knee bending into a kneeling, like wide child's pose position. Walk your hands back in, rotate yourself forward, back into your lizard lunge. And while the left leg is going to maybe open a bit, this back leg, your right leg this time, is going to stay neutral. You're going to lean as far forward into your right leg as possible. Maybe that's just where you're staying because you need to work on the openness in the front of your right hip, or if you have the space for it, bend, reach back, and catch a hold. Bring it back around with control, nice and slow. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step to plank. The plank is your inhale, hold and breathe. Exhale, slowly lower, all the way down. Slide your left arm underneath you to the right, and then chest smash, lay down. You can have your right arm straight forward. You can have your right arm down by your side. Try to get as much of your body weight onto that nice corner, right in the corner, pec minor area, corner of the chest area.
And we'll give it about 3 more breaths. Okay, so come on up nice and slowly, where you're gonna prop yourself up on your right elbow, bend your left knee, and reach back to grab. So here's another version of connecting with your leg to help that arm open up. You're externally rotating now. Some people can't get the grab with external, so you can go sort of neutral / slightly internal, and you'll still get a stretch, and you can kick into it and practice being active in the bow shape by being in this half bow shape, and it doesn't super duper matter what shoulder rotation you take. You'll get something out of it regardless. If you do get this external thumb up or holding around the inside of the ankle position, drop your right ear down to your right shoulder for a little bit extra stretch through that brachial shoulder neckline, brachial nerve plexus area. And slowly release. This time your right arm is going to go underneath you to the left. Your left arm can go long or it can go down by your side for maximum pressure down. A lot of people are up like this, at least in the beginning, and you're trying to slump your entire left side so that it's on the same plane as your right side. All right, slowly come on up. Prop yourself up on your left elbow this time. Bend your right knee, catch a hold. I didn't mention it, but let's say you can't easily catch a hold in either arm position. You can always create a lasso with a belt, a strap of any kind, and catch a hold of your leg that way. The connection does not have to be purely hand to ankle. But once you get it, try to be a little active with it, kick up with it. Float your quad off of the ground if you can. If you can't, it might be you're just tight. But it also just might be that you're not used to activating that way. So give it a try. If you have the external rotation grip, try to drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Get that neck stretch. And slowly release. I'm going to suggest that you take a little field trip and you grab, even if you have a block, another prop. I'll show you the kind of props you may want to grab. So I've got this block, and I have this meditation cushion, which is a pretty thick, dense
cushiony thing, right? So I'm gonna create a little ramp with it. And that ramp is gonna go in my sternum area when I lay down. Oh, Dandy, your hair's all over this thing. So I'm gonna lay down so that I'm a little bit up with it to begin with, like seal pose. So I'll give you a second to find that. It could be any combination of block and cushion, or a few dense cushions, or a blanket piled up nice and high. That is the babiest pose. You're so cute. All right, chest on the prop situation. You can always do this one leg at a time. You're already upright, maybe a little more upright than normal. Bend your back leg, catch a hold of one foot. So you can repeat, but with a little bit more of a lifted chest, and practice kicking, and it will pull you backward, which gives you the opportunity to bend your other leg pretty easily, grab your other leg in your hand, and kick up. A lot of people have a hard time getting their chest high in bow, so this is a nice way to do that. Kick into both hands, chest up, look up, focus on breathing. And release. Chill. Let's do that one more time. All right, up we go. Whatever leg you grabbed first last time, grab the other one first this time. And exhale, release. Go ahead and push up. Now, I don't know what props y'all have, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just one more thing that is not as intense as that by a long shot. Take and make a supported thing. I don't even know what to call it. You can make it a T shape, or you can make it a not T shape, whatever this would be. But that, and it doesn't matter what configuration as long as it's stable, basically. Okay, and you're gonna aim to put it in your trunk, right, let's see, right at your belly button and a little bit above, to kind of trap your trunk. You don't trap and pin your torso from here up. You don't want that part moving. So then with your hands underneath you, you'll focus on your pelvic tilt from the lumbar down. Your spinal movement from the lumbar down. Focus on tucking under to reset what we just did with the big back bend, unless you are chronically tucked under, in which case you can focus on the back bend here, because you'll probably get more out of this than you did. But you can go in and out just when you come into it, linger for a few extra seconds in the scooped under position. And you're wanting to isolate this sensation, not anywhere in your T-spine, all in the lumbar. Relax, scoop under, relax, scoop under. Let's go 2 more times.
Okay, good. Props to the side, slide your left knee forward, sit your hips down, bring your body to the inside of your left leg, and as that right leg can, as it opens up, hopefully it's pretty open right now, you're gonna rotate it to face straight down to the ground. You don't want this hip coming up. If it's up a little bit, which you cannot see because of my black sweatpants, you can take your hands out in front of you and push yourself backward a little bit to close that gap, and then hang out. Slowly come on up. Roll your hips to the left. Swing your right leg in front of you and your left leg back. You're setting up for your pigeon on this side. Right leg forward, left leg back. Bend this front knee. Make sure your right hip is down. Lean forward to the inside of your right leg. And then you can send that left leg and back as comfortable. Eventually rolling your left hip down and closing the gap between the left hip and the ground as much as possible without losing connection between your right hip and the ground as well. Come on up, choose a prop, whichever prop is your fave, on the ground with it, and set up for supported fish. So last time I said this, I'll say it again. Some people like their head supported in supported fish because opening up their throat is like too vulnerable feeling for them, and some people want that opening. So you have to figure out which you prefer. You do have two prop options if you went on your field trip and picked up a second prop. So yeah, you have options. where you position your prop will also dictate how open your chest is, and that's what we're really going for. It's just a very passive opening through the front of your body here. Your arms out wide, maybe some opening through your throat. Slow your breathing back down. If you especially focus on extending your inhales an extra beat or two, you may find a significant amount of extra stretch in your front, between your ribs, all along your front body and your sides. You're welcome to stay or remove the prop for Shavasana with nothing underneath you. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. If you would like to come up, then slowly bring some movement back into your body, and whichever way makes the most sense for you to come upright, you can make your way to a comfortable seat. We'll end it with a cleansing breath. Breathe in through your nose, hold it in at the top. Open your mouth, let it go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you all in the den.